billionaire like I don't really care. I'ma be a billionaire like I don't really care. I'ma be a billionaire like I don't really care. I'ma be a trillionaire like I don't really care. I'ma be a trillionaire like I don't really care. I'ma be a trillionaire like.
Welcome to the I Love Recruiting Podcast with your host, Adam Roach.
Welcome everybody back to the I Love Recruiting Podcast. I am your host, Adam Roach, and today I have my man, Mr. Jeremy Bowers, coming to us live from Philadelphia. He's going to catch us up with all he's doing in the recruiting space, in his business building space, and probably most importantly, the tennis court space.
I will be down in July to see you. I'm rebooking the Charleston trip to come down and play some tennis in July.
Yeah, in July? Okay, good. So I need to brush up on what? My forehand, backhand, volleys? What do you think? Serve?
You played Division I. I don't think you need to warm up in anything.
Got to remember, that was years and years, probably 2 decades ago, yeah.
We're going to get Greg Harrison too, man, so it'll be a good time.
We'll get Greg up here. That'll be fun. All right, so catch us up. Who's Jeremy? Give us his Philly special here.
Yeah. Grew up in Punxsutawney, went to pharmacy school, transferred to Penn State, met my wife at Penn State, got into sales. I was horrible at it in year 2000. He kept me around for culture and being an amazing guy to get the collaboration going, but I was horrible in it. Got into real estate 2003, started buying houses, and I've bought over 100 houses in 17 years. Sold real estate about 175, 200 houses a year. Did that for about 6-7 years. Did not ask to get into management leadership, did not ask for it. They came to me. Coldwell Banker brought me in, became top 10 in recruiting in Coldwell Banker, United States of America. I did it for 6 years. We crushed it. We turned an office around and put up some big numbers. 17, I said, you know what? I'm going to go out and do real estate investing full time. I left the recruiting and management world and did it for a year. I was empty within about 60 days of missing this. Came back to it a year later, took over KW Philly. And then became a partner in that, and then also opened up or relaunched with Mike McCann, who was the #1 Berkshire agent in America, recruited 2 years ago. He's one of our partners now. We just took over the KW main line office outside Philadelphia. So we have 2 offices in the city and 1 in the main line, and normally top 10, top 20 in Keller in most numbers across the board.
Nice, man. Congrats. That's a quick CNN abbreviated version of your badass background, man. Way to go. And Go Bros, right? We're Go Bunnins brothers, and we've done a lot of fun things in that space as well. So let's go back real quick. So you had a great entrepreneurial run here up into becoming a recruiter with Coldwell Banker. So what was that transition like, going from sales and then into full-time recruiting, or at least maybe pausing sales or leveraging that out and going into recruiting?
Yeah. See, you're selling people or selling houses. And I don't look at it selling anything. I look at it as development. So when you look at people, when you're showing them houses, are you putting them in a house? I never put a person in a house for a paycheck. Same thing in recruiting. I don't ever put a person in a position for a paycheck. I don't even think about money. Money's a byproduct. What I do is I focus on helping them. I believe in life, there's 3 things. I grew up in a poor town called Punxsutawney. I was going to become a pharmacist. I wasn't smart enough. But I'll tell you one thing, my dad and myself, we helped out everybody. I probably couldn't even get arrested in my town because we helped so many people out. Money is a byproduct. And I want you to remember this, that if anybody watching this, it will come. You have to focus on the person. There's a great book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. It has changed more lives than anybody I've helped with. Many books good, but this one's amazing. What do you want? How are you going to get there? What's your why? It's called the golden circle. What do you want? How are you going to get there? What's your why? My job as a leader is to be the bridge. As a leader, if they come to me and ask me a question, I didn't do my job. I have to be ahead of the curve. They can't see a mile down the road. They only can see a quarter mile. My job is to see a mile. So when I went into Coldwell Banker, I'm like, listen, I just need to help the current people grow their business. But if I'm going to change this game of this brokerage, I have to put myself out there and go out and recruit and go out and find amazing talent. The one thing I did differently is you got to pay attention to your people. So I paid attention to the people. I grew their business. And then I grew the new agents business that came on board. How do you do that? You got to be really good at one thing called compressing time. Compressing time. If I talk to one person, can I talk to the world? If I get that question asked twice, I'm doing a recording of it. I save it in my iPhone. And the next time a person asks me, hey, Jeremy, what do I say when someone comes to me and want to list the house for 5%? Boom, let me send you a recording. It's 3 minutes long. It'll explain everything to you. everything I do, I try to compress. Is it YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're doing, have a storage, have a library. They say the most wealth and knowledge is in the ground. When people are dead, they don't use it in their brains or the library. Make your own library and compress time. I see so many people that try to do everything and they don't get really good at one thing. Our job as leaders is to compress time, compress the client's time, which is our recruits, and compress our time. That's what I did at Coldwell, and I grew it quick.
Love that, man. Yeah. You know what? I love that you said compress the time there, because again, when we're coaching in the recruiting space, here's what I always tell everybody. Listen, they're going to get maybe somewhere, somehow to their goal. The question is, can you get them there faster? Right?
Yep.
Get them there faster. And developing people, walk us down that path. Where did that come from? And as you're developing people right now, do you have a go-to? Do you have a 3-step process there? What do you have there?
So remember, what do you want? How do you get there? What's your why? I got to help them figure out their why and reverse engineer their business. What do they want? They kind of know what they want. How are they going to get there? I'm in Philly. I'm trying to go to the shore. I want to be on the bay. I want the house. My job is, do I go over the Betsy Ross, Walt Whitman, or Ben Franklin Bridge? I'm the bridge from Philly to New Jersey, right? In that case, what do? I sit down and I analyze what they want in life. I could care less about real estate. Doesn't mean it. Real estate's a byproduct. Real estate is just a vehicle to get what they want in life. Real estate is just what they use to get what they want in life. Do you want to win the National Amateur Tennis Tournament? Do you want to retire with $30 million? Do you want to build a nonprofit organization? Real estate is just the byproduct. I actually think real estate agreements, sale, home inspection, settlements are very boring. It's just part of what I do. Sure. What I do, what gets me excited, is helping them get to where they want. So what I do first is I figure out what those 3 things are. And then I build them a business plan and ideas basically on a simple 1-3-5 and a 4-1-1. And I created a sheet during the coronavirus time that basically in 15 minutes, I can show a person what they need to retire with. If they tell me what they want to retire with, I can build it through real estate investing, selling real estate, and figure out, actually, should they build a team that most don't make any money? Or should they build a team that's called employees? Because employees make you 100 to 300% more money than actually bringing on agents. Agents, only 15% of agents make it. Employees are 85. Most agents out there, most leaders are focusing on the wrong thing for them to make money. Agents want to compress time too. They just don't know the direction to go. And they see the internet and everybody thinks to build a team. I will show you teams that make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million with 1 or 2 agents. They have employees. They're the doctor. They hire the nurse and secretaries. So Adam, that's what I do. I show them how to make money in real estate, how to make money investing in real estate, and how to live a balanced life. Most people want to just sell real estate. Wealth is owning real estate. It's just the byproduct. That's what we focus on differently.
Gosh. All right. So I've got like a whole page of notes here and we've only been going for about 8 minutes. Strong, really, really strong. So walk me through, let's go back to this. So you said you sit them down and you have a business plan with them. You help them create a business plan all the way to retirement.
Yep.
Is that right? Now, I want to talk about that just in a second, but I want to come back to this massive aha that everyone should have just had. And that is building a team based on revenue generators that are agents, or building a team based on employees. Walk us through that mindset there.
Yeah. In my Excel spreadsheet, or in my business model, I can show a person, if you take $12,000, $4,000 a month, 3 months, and you hire an admin, within 3 months, that admin will be paid for by the increase in your business. If you didn't generate any business, that would cost you $50,000 for the year. On that $50,000 a year, Adam, could you sell $5 million more in business every time they say yes? This is like a $5-7 million producer I'm talking to right now. That's $150,000 in income. You just did triple the number. You invested 50, you made another 50, you made another 50. So I guess you made $100,000 on your 50.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
That's how I look at it, compared to an agent that you're maybe going to net $20,000 or $30,000 off the year. I look at every employee that I'm hiring for a team. You can make between 50 to 150 a year, and an agent 20, 30, max 50. After that, they're leaving you. If you're making more than 50, you got to provide so many supports and services. It's very hard. I have some teams. I manage over 40 teams. I got some guys, making more than that. It's hard.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's really, really good. And I trust everyone who is listening, at least watching on The Art of Recruiting, because that's where this is live right now. Every Tuesday at 10 o'clock, we put this live. That's Eastern time. in the art of recruiting. This will air in about 2 weeks in the I Love Recruiting podcast. So Jeremy, keep going. I want to hear the 4 buckets to success. Walk us through that.
Recruiting, retention, big thinking ideas, which are revenue streams, and investing in real estate. Recruiting, we're all talking about recruiting. How you bringing people on, but then how are you going to retain them? You need to have systems in place. I don't care what company it is. Keller Williams to me is a platform. Every brokerage is a platform. I don't care if it's EXP, Keller, Fox and Roach, Weicker, it doesn't matter. That's the platform. What are you going to do recruiting wise? And then what are you going to retain them with? Do you have a pro coaching system? Do you have a training series? Are you touching base on weekly? Every week when someone comes on board, yesterday, I reached out to every single person I hired in the month of December. Today, I'll reach out to every single person I hired in November. Wednesday will be October, September, August. Every single week, they're not getting forgotten from me. And that will allow me to build their business. They need love. They need attention. And over the first 90 days and on, I will be touching base, but first 90 are very critical. And that retention tool comes in, and then they start sending me referrals because I get them set up. I'm not okay unless they're okay. So that is number 1 is recruiting. Number 2 is retention. And you have to have things in retention that are scalable, not one-on-one meetings with everybody in your company. You're going to run out of time. How are you going to meet 400? I got 600 agents. How can I meet them all? I look at everything as buckets and who can I put and leverage those buckets. 0 to 3 million productivity program. 3 plus on, that's Jeremy Bowers coaching them twice a month in a group setting and connecting them. If I teach them to rely on just on me, I call that a dictatorship. When I'm not around, they're calling me. How can I go to the beach? How can I go on vacation? I teach them to build a culture. It's about them. You won't see Jeremy Bowers' name, Noah Ostroff, Mike McCann. You see the brokerage name. I don't want to see my name. I created Home Experts for you. I don't want to see Jeremy Bowers. That's a team name. That's about them. Right. So it allows me to pull myself out, which then I can build leverage and put people in place. So the retention tool is very, very key that you got to put other people in place. It's not about you. It's a big, big mistake that I see some people make. So now I got recruiting down. I got retention down. And now I got to get big thinking ideas. What am I doing? Big thinking ideas. I print off a packet. This is my big thinking ideas right now. Sits in front of me. And when I got 15, 20 minutes at night, that's what I'm reading. What's those 1 or 2 things this year I can use to move the needle, to move the business? See, the challenge in life, too many times we're a diner. I don't want to be a diner. I want to be Chipotle. I want to be something maybe a little bit less choices. I want to focus. I want to dig deep. Well, someone's digging 6 holes. I'm just digging 1 or 2. And if I can dig deep, I can help them. So the big thinking ideas have to be revenue streams. What can I build revenue streams for the brokerage, for the agents to make them money? This year, I had to create a marketing department. I believe every company can be created in 60 days. I created a marketing company with our group of partners in the last 12 months. So that's the number 3 bucket. 4th is real estate investing. Everybody wants to talk about it, but everybody doesn't want to grind it and figure it out. So how am I going to raise capital, right? How am I going to find the deals and source the deals? How am I going to manage the deals, right? What's the benefit of real estate investing? Appreciation, depreciation, forced pay down of debt, and cash flow, right? One of the best real estate books I ever read was Real Estate Tax Loopholes, Kiyosaki's books, or Real Estate Tax Advantages. So that 4th stream allows me to allow them to focus on the other 3. But I really help them make their money on the investing side through them selling real estate. So I think all 4 are a byproduct of what we do. Yeah.
So damn good. Let's go back to the buckets and leverage, right? You build leverage. Walk us through your leverage right now. What does that look like? I heard you touch on it just a little bit, but keep going deeper into that space, because here's what I know. All of our coaching clients right now in the I Love Recruiting company are reading a book called Who Not How. Right? Who Not How. And in my opinion, that is probably one of the best books out there right now by Benjamin Hardy. Remember when he came to Go Abundance?
Yeah.
Dan Sullivan's content, Benjamin wrote it. And Who Not How is such a great, simple book to realize where you should have leverage in your life. I mean, we're talking all the way back from driving your car so you can get shit done in the middle there, right? While you're going to work, and all the way to now what you're talking about. So walk us through that leverage that you just discussed.
I analyze every single thing I do in a day, and I time block the day how I do it. I don't write my bills. I don't call Chevy Tahoe to get off my lease right now. It's off my lease. I don't negotiate my Jeep Wrangler right now. I literally pay a person. I have a man and I have a woman on my staff. That way, if they're calling as Jeremy Bowers, they can call. My lease was just up. They extended my lease 60 days. You know how many hours that saved me by not calling my lease company? I figured out personal time, writing your bills and personal little things is 7 to 15 hours a week. It's wild. 7 to 15 hours a week. I do that on a personal level with the agents and with leaders. Okay. Next, I believe there's 3 types of assistants for agents, but as leaders, do we actually do it? I don't know if we all do. And I believe in the agent world, you need a communication assistant, a transaction assistant, and a marketing assistant. Most people try to make them all 3. A nurse, a secretary, and a doctor don't work as all as one. You need to separate. So we do at our company, we have a marketing department, a transaction coordination, and the first assistant they hire really should be communication, working that database, checking their emails, saving them time. The money is in selling real estate as your database. For me, I have an assistant for everything. I have an assistant that checks my emails. They're going through my emails right now. I reinvest my bonuses. I reinvest the money I make so I can 3x my returns. The only way I can do over $200,000 in revenue this month is one thing. It's called leverage. The only reason why I was able to grow these businesses as quick as we do, Philly in 4 years did over $1 billion in business, is leverage. So everything I look at on a personal level is leverage, and then on a business. On a business, I believe most recruiters should be paying their own, or leaders in these brokerages should be paying someone to support them, checking their emails, setting up their communications, setting up all their Zoom links today, all their meetings, and then also helping with the onboarding. We're onboarding so many people right now and making sure they're taken care of. My assistant basically just does that.
Right. That's great. Let's go back to this. So you said, now if we just go right into the recruiters. So if we talk to the recruiters right now, I heard you say, leverage your emails, leverage your communication, leverage your onboarding. Was there one other thing you said there? I can't remember.
Leverage coaching, leverage emails, leverage onboarding. I pretty much leverage everything. I'm still attentive to everything, but you got to have people in their buckets, and you got to look at this as a basketball team. Who's your point guard? Who's your guard? You know, do you have our people setting appointments? You know, who's your basketball team? Who's your center? Who's your role player? And every business I got to look at it as a basketball team or whatever type of sports team it is. Yeah, exactly. And I also believe that's where a fault of brokerages are ran. And this is a golden tip I want to drop today is I believe that most recruiters play in 2 buckets, and it's really bad. They play in the growth bucket and they play in the operations bucket. You can't be everything. Most people trying to do really well and impact people are trying to be the general doctor. Surgeons make all the money. Yo, break the model. Yo, you want to be the OP? You want to be the operating principal? Guess what? You're in charge of operations. If you don't want to be in charge of operations, hire an operations manager. Okay. The operations side, when you go to Zappos or you go to a company, you have customer service and sales. How often do you meet a business you're in charge of sales and customer service? You don't. When you go to the doctor's office, you got a nurse, doctor, secretary. Like the same thing. It's a broken model. We try to do too many things. We're like a diner in most of these brokerages. So in my world, the operations side takes care of the finance. They take care of the roof, all the operating stuff, the customer service, operating desk lease, all that stuff. I broke away. Finally, I couldn't do it. I was going to burn out and leave, man. And growth, I focus on growth. My numbers went through the roof because now I focus on growth. Growth is recruiting. Build out a growth team. Build out a growth team. Build out your growth business and just focus on growing the business and growing the existing agent's business. If it's something miscellaneous about the operations of the business, that goes to the operations side. Operations side, you stay on your side. We've probably 3x or 4x our business just by doing that trick and break down the model. So daggone good here. So let's pause that for a second. So let's say that we're talking to an independent, right? A smaller independent. I just talked to a person the other day in the Northeast that couldn't get into coaching because they couldn't afford it, right? Mm-hmm. They couldn't afford it because of exactly what you just said, that this individual was not only still in production, they were in the management side, they were in the growth side, they were in the operations side and couldn't get into coaching. So what would you say? I know what you would say. What would you say to someone like that who says, I don't have the funds, I don't have the resources or the money to be able to get into it? And quite frankly, I can't even get out of production because I need my production for my brokerage, my organization to continue to run. What would you say to them? Adam, do you think you have the talent to scale and grow your business? Yes. Great. Let me ask you a question. Let's go through a sheet and let's track what you do every single day at an hour slot for a week. Get back to me and show me what you do. We're going to take that in buckets and I'm going to outsource X% of that for you. I'm going to teach what's called leverage and scale. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to free up at least 15 to 20 hours a your week by me allowing you to bucket your businesses and figure out where you're making money, where you're not. Most human beings wake up, don't have Waze, don't have a map. It's old school. It wasn't even MapQuest. They just get in the car and just drive, and all day long, they have no idea where they're going. No, if you're going to work with us, you need Waze. And Waze is going to tell you, you go from point A to point B. I'm going to eliminate and deflect all that crap in the meantime. So what I would say to him is I would just focus on what he's doing in a day. I would eliminate things, and I would dive deeper in buckets. Most of those guys at independent models try to sell real estate, try to manage real estate, try to run the books, everything. I'm going to get them to scale their business and focus on what they should be doing and what they don't want to be doing. I believe a good company tells a person, what do you want to do? And what don't you want to do? Jeremy Bowers doesn't want to answer this, this, and this in a day. It's boring to me. I want to do this, this, and this. Figure out what that is. If you don't do that, you got a job. I'm sorry, you're in corporate America. You act like you're not in corporate America, but you got a job. You're not an entrepreneur. You got to figure that out. Everybody says, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Guess what? You're an entrepreneur, but you're really in corporate America. Quit selling yourself. Because if you don't have freedom and you can't trade time for money, let me repeat that again. If you're trading time for money, you're not an entrepreneur.
Right.
An entrepreneur or a business owner has leverage, and leverage allows you to take a weekend off or the week off, and does a business run with you. And when you know you have a good business, can you go away for vacation for a month and your phone doesn't ring? Can you go away for a week and your phone doesn't ring? Those type of people, that's what they really, really want. Most people are like, I'm going to show them how to make more leads. They don't want more leads. They want freedom. They want time.
Right.
They want to go enjoy life. That's what I'd focus on, Adam.
So good. Okay, so let's pause our conversation here. So we are live in the Art of Recruiting Facebook group right now. So if you are listening, when we have some listeners and watchers as we speak, put in your questions for Jeremy right now in there. We have about a 3 to 5 second, maybe 10-second delay here. So put in your questions and thoughts that you might have for Jeremy, and I'll read those here in a second. So Jeremy, 2021, what's this year hold for you?
Last week, we got announced as second in America for KW in recruiting, and the amount of cappers that we brought on. We've brought on over $225,000 this month alone. Our goal is $50,000 to start. My goal is to bring in $1.2 million in new recruiting dollars to the brokerage. One brokerage does about $1.4 billion. The other brokerage we bought was losing money. We're going to turn that around within 6 months. We brought 61 people on experience after buying it in the pandemic in June.
Nice.
And we'll probably turn $250,000 after that. That's our goal. So one will make 600, and I will make $250,000. That's the brokerage side. Then I'm going to scale out the pro coaching division. And third, I believe there's service model we're going to add is we're adding technical service people. You join the brokerage, you get a person who'll actually get you up and running. They're specifically set. You don't need to watch 30 different videos. They're going to get you set up on our command and our services. Those are my 3 big buckets I'm working on this year.
Got it. Love it. So let's go back to this $225,000 in new revenue in 1 month, right?
Yep.
That's strong, man. That's super, man, strong. And now talk to me about your growth department, your growth machine. What's that look like? What's the framework?
So growth is we build out a software. We're using Monday for our software system because I believe most software systems and brokerages are not the best to scale and grow a business. I can communicate with anybody in our group. And then we're prospecting, and we have assistant team leaders, and we're prospecting, we're setting appointments, and then we can communicate back and forth. At this level, I'm the ones going and closing most of the deals and teaching them what levels, X amount to X amount they can do. And then after that, they need to bring me in. I'm lucky my partners are very, very involved. I have very good partners that get involved every single day. So if you're a partner with us, you better be involved. If you're not, I don't want to be your partner. Like if you're not going on appointments, you're not helping close deals, go somewhere else. And so our team's much more just than the growth. It's actually the partners too. We're lucky.
That's awesome. That's really, really good. Well, congrats on all that stuff. So you said that the software that you're using from a communication standpoint is called Monday, right?
Yeah, we basically build it out. I hired an assistant. I don't really like hiring anybody with real estate experience. I like to hire people from different industries so they can bring different ideas.
Yep.
So I hired an accountant that has a personality, somewhat, you know, like, it has a personality, I should say. You know, accountants, they say they don't have personalities. This person does, right?
Right.
And, she's really good. And Monday's like a large Excel spreadsheet that can pretty much make it do whatever you want. If I didn't have her or other people as wizards behind it, it's very hard to build it out, but it's customizable. So it's good. And I know you have your stuff, which is awesome. So to each its own, whatever works for a person is how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. So, all right, man. So we'll pause all the recruiting. We'll pause all of this. The Eagles, are going to be good next year?
No, they're garbage. You know what? Anybody that says they're going to be good, they're in trouble. You know what I do instead these days is I've been just like pounding the same books, dude. I used to make these mistakes of reading too many books. I want to share this one. This is called Trap. This is the best operation book of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm ever distracted, I read the one thing.
Okay.
If I want a really good marketing book and I want to try to map out my ideas, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller.
Yep.
And every business I've ever built, real estate investing, selling real estate, anything, is I used to give this out when I was at Coldwell Banker. I don't care what company you're with. It's a very good framework.
So for those people that can't see what he was just holding up, he had the book Traction, the book The One Thing, Building a Brand, and then the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. Those are his 4 books that he recommends. Traction, love that book. Gino is an incredible writer in that book. Cool, man. Well, how can people find you? Where can they follow you? Where can they come love on you and get some more of this valuable nuggets you just dropped here?
Yeah, the $1 billion office. $1 billion office is taken. The $1 billion office is my recruiting page that gives you a whole bunch of free information, hundreds and hundreds of videos from YouTube. Jeremy Bowers, 215-370-9107. But all my stuff is on the $1 billion office. I do need to start dropping more content on it. I have no middle button. So I stopped on YouTube. I do a little bit on Facebook. I'm going to start interviewing people back on Facebook and get back on YouTube this year. I've been just focused on building these businesses. So I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on today.
Totally my pleasure. You always rock. You've always rocked. Can't wait to can't wait to go have some good fun on the tennis court. It's going to be good. Everybody, you just heard my man, Jeremy Bauer from Philadelphia. Drop some massive nuggets. If you're on the art of recruiting, pause this right now. Go start it again. We got 30 minutes here of pure value. If you are listening to the I Love Recruiting podcast right now, you just heard from Jeremy. That was incredible stuff. Here's what we got coming up real quick in the I Love Recruiting company. We have our group coaching starting. That'll be February 9th. 3 sessions. That'll be 45 minutes each for the month of February. If you want to be included in that, go to iloverecruiting.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on group coaching. We will get you included in that. And that's all I have for you, Jeremy. Any parting words here?
I appreciate you. Your net worth is who you surround yourself with. So remember that when you're building your companies, who you surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
Adam, you're one of those guys in my life. I'm grateful for you, man. So
Likewise,
thank you,
brother. Yeah, for sure. Hey, are you going to Tahoe?
No.
Okay. I don't think I am either, but hey, we'll get skiing one day, right?
Exactly. I'll see your butt in the tennis court.
That's right. All right, guys. Take care. See you. Bye.